One's there. Samsung, who's speaking? They're very disruptive. Who is speaking? Someone's logged in as Samsung. What's your name?
Carolyn McNary.
Oh, Carolyn, you should be better than this at that.
This is only my second time, Judge. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, you're a boulder in the stream, but we'll be with you in a minute on those ambassadors cases.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. All right. So we'll change her name in a minute. Anyway, this is John Beachy versus Megan Sudbury. I went through the advice of rights for Miss Sudbury. I learned about this case a couple different ways. Mr. Beachy is here in the conference room with his children who also live at that South Thompson Lane address. Megan Sudbury is here with me in the courtroom. There is a criminal case going on in this matter, and we had a pretrial on that yesterday, and I spoke to the fact that there would be a landlord-tenant hearing this morning, and everybody's here in a timely manner. There's also a personal protection order, which is Judge Pattison's bailiwick. I'm not sure how he got it. Anyway, Mr. Beachy and Miss Sudbury were living together in Mr. Beachy's home on South Thompson Lane Road. Domestic assault charge was lodged against Mr. Beachy, and he was compelled to move out of his house. Miss Sudbury was in the South Thompson Lane home with Mr. Beachy's children. At some point, she moved out of South Thompson Lane and moved into a property on Resort Road just across the lake. So Miss Sudbury, are you now living at the Resort Road address?
No, Your Honor, none of that information is factual.
All right, where are you living?
I'm not going to say on the record, but I do have a place. I have a lease. I can provide
All
that
right,
to you.
so you're not living at South Thompson Lane?
No, but that's because they forced me out, and his children were not staying there. He lied about that. His children were not staying there. They were staying with him. I believe they were at his mom's house.
So because of this, he and his children all had to move out of his house?
No, then he started sending his children back every day.
Well, it's their house.
Well,
So
it is their
at
house.
what point did you move out?
I didn't technically move out. I left because I am terrified of him and his children. I had documented things.
All right, well, so you're gonna need to get out of here. We just need to
I
figure out the
understand that.
details. So now we were in dispute yesterday as to what is there. Is all your personal property still there?
Yes, but he said yesterday that it's not there. He also said yesterday that he had none of my property on his property, which is false. And I did provide the police report today because he had my gun and he did return it. Well, he surrendered it to Officer Morrill, who brought it to me last night.
All right, yeah, that was a bit cryptic yesterday, Mr. Beachy. You said her stuff is not there. Where is her stuff?
It's in the storage unit, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I have reason to believe that
Just
that's
a minute.
not all the way true.
Just a minute, just a minute. Don't tell me exactly, but what town is the storage unit in?
In St. Joe County.
Who put it there?
The other people that were at the house.
Well, who are those?
My son.
All right.
I didn't return to my house till I believe it was January 30th, a week after she was out.
You can't do that. Violates the landlord-tenant anti-lockout statute. Whether you liked it or not, she was a tenant at your residence and had lawful status to be there. Because of the domestic violence charge, you were in the odd situation where you got removed from your own house. It's a nice house. And apparently either your kids also got removed or agreed to vacate. But you can't take her stuff and just put it in a storage unit. The law gives her certain rights as a tenant. And you were cryptic about it. Now we've got this criminal case and this PPO. But the bottom line is she can't live there anymore. This relationship is ended. She doesn't have a lease. You live there with your kids. The prosecutor asked me to forestall the termination of tenancy case. And I really am not willing to do that. But we need to figure out how to get her and her stuff back to her. So when we talk about your stuff, are we talking about clothing and personal effects, or are we talking about
All
furniture?
personal items, all clothing of mine and my daughter's. I'm gonna say I probably had $5,000 to $7,000 just in shoes.
I bet I have $200 in shoes.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Yes.
Miss Sudbury was made aware that she could have all of her belongings. All I wanted was my items that she took from my house, like my wallet, my car key, my BMW car key that cost me around $780 to replace it because she wouldn't return it. Plus other items.
That came up yesterday. He contends that you took his wallet with his identification, his charge cards, and some of his personal property like car keys. There is a statute that allows a landlord-tenant judge to deal with personal property. Judge Stutzman had a different view of it in a case, but so, and you denied that. So do you have any idea what happened to his wallet?
No.
Nobody's under oath here, so I don't know what the truth is.
She was left in my home when I was arrested, and my kids would never take my wallet. So she was the only other party in my house when my wallet ended up.
All right, so after you went to jail, your wallet disappeared?
Yeah, along with
from
my
your house.
keys. Correct, along with my keys, a pocket knife I had, which mysteriously she ended up producing and giving to my brother and sister-in-law. But they were all together with my wallet and my car key. And my car key and my wallet were the only things that weren't returned, but the other things were, because they were always.
All right, well, I'm not sure what to do with that, but all right, Miss Sudbury, what do you want? What would you like? What would be the best outcome for you?
I would like my personal belongings back. I would like my daughter's things back, and I would like to get out of his home. I would like to do so when they are not present. Because I am terrified of them. I have many, many recordings of his children beating him up. So I am terrified of his children. And Daniel did tell me he is going to, and this is why I left, because I'm afraid of them. Daniel said him and his dad are going to take things away from me and punish me every day until I leave. When we were in Judge Pattison's room for the PPO matter, his attorney, Cyber, had specifically asked if they could lock me out, and Pattison said no. He said, you cannot do that. So that very same evening, that's exactly what he did.
Well, there's an anti-lockout statute and you have some remedies under it, but at this point, you just want to go into their house while they're not there.
I don't have a problem with peacekeepers, and that's what the officers told me to do. And they told me to break in because that's my residence and it's not malicious destruction of property. I didn't want to harm anything or anyone. I don't want anything to do with their things. I just want mine back. I am afraid of them. I don't want them present. I mean, John's not supposed to be around me anyway, but I definitely don't want his children there.
Well, it's their house. His children don't have a no contact order against you. He does.
Correct.
And that's their house. It's been their house for 15 years. You moved in less than a year ago and everything went sideways and everybody's life is in turmoil. But
can I say something else, Your Honor?
Yes, well, in for a penny, in for a pound. Yes.
I'll gladly pay that pound. This isn't the first time that Megan's done this to an individual. She did this
All right,
exactly.
we don't need to go down that path.
I'm just stating that it's not her first go around doing this to somebody.
All right, well, I'm only gonna deal with this. Now, you've got her stuff secreted somewhere and you won't even tell me where it is other than it's in St. Joseph County.
It's in 3 Rivers, Your Honor. All I want is my things back, and she's been made aware of that. I just want my things, and she can have everything of hers. I don't
All right,
want.
I don't have the authority to give your things back. Not in a kind where she's subject to being evicted.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right, back to Beachy and Sudbury. The law says we have to adjourn this matter at least 7 days. Mr. Beachy, what you need to do is allow Miss Sudbury to get all of her stuff out of this storage unit that you put it in. That violates the Landlord-Tenant Relationship Act, violates the lockout law. She can actually sue you for money damages. But we aren't there yet. I'm just trying to get possession back. You need to make this storage unit available to her to get her stuff out of it.
Your Honor.
Yes.
He also previously hauled a whole bunch of my items off of his property when I was still there, in an enclosed trailer. That has been gone for quite some time, and there are $2,000 worth of bikes in there. So I'm assuming, maybe I'm incorrect for assuming, I'm assuming those things have not been put in the storage unit.
You're assuming.
You also have a trailer full of her property?
No, Your Honor, everything of hers is in that storage unit.
Including the stuff that was in the trailer?
Yes, Your Honor. That way she had no reason to come back to my house. Because she was packaging up some of my items in hers when I was not at my residence.
Well, this goes under the category of it's your own fault, everybody involved. She moved in, there's no lease, there's no marriage, your kids are there, the relationship goes south. You can't just pick all her stuff up and throw it out in the street, which is essentially what you did by putting it into storage. I want to get her out of there so she can get her new tenancy established. You and your kids can get your house back. So the first thing we're going to do is you need to make the keys to the storage unit available to her. Are you at the Resort Road address?
No, I was not living there. I did stay there for 2 weekends and a couple nights in between, but I never lived there.
All right, what town are you living in?
What you just watched was not a typical eviction case. It was a relationship implosion that landed in court and forced a judge to sort through the wreckage left behind. John Beachy was arrested on a domestic assault charge and removed from his own home. The woman he shared that home with, Megan Sudbury, remained inside legally, as a tenant, with rights the law was bound to protect. But when Beachy returned, those rights had already been violated. His family had packed up all of her belongings, moved them into a storage unit without her knowledge, and handed over no key. In open court, the judge named it clearly and without hesitation that violated Michigan's anti-lockout statute. It didn't matter that it was his house for 15 years. It didn't matter that he felt wronged. The moment she was a tenant with lawful status, the law protected her, and removing her property without consent broke it. What made this hearing remarkable wasn't just the legal violation, it was the raw human chaos underneath it. Accusations about a missing wallet and car keys. Claims of $5,000 to $7,000 worth of shoes. A bag of cannabis pulled from a dumpster. Children allegedly threatening the woman living in their home. Two people who had shared a life now fighting over stain remover and life jackets in front of a judge who had seen enough. "I don't do divorce work," he said. And he meant it. His job was to unspool the legal knot, get everyone their property back, and send them on their separate ways. That is exactly what he did with patience, legal precision, and the occasional sharp word when the chaos got to be too much. If you found this case as eye-opening as we did, hit that like button. Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns because justice never gets old.